We're going to start this morning with the one element of the service that's not up for grabs. The hymn saying is, sorry, we're going to start with number 1008, when our heart is in the teal hymnal, sometimes mistakenly called the blue hymnal. It's Deborah's favorite color. No, that's not. Anyway, 1008, when our heart is in a holy place. Go to 168 in the way. And this is called One More Step. One More Step, 168.
Take more. Good morning. Welcome to the Community Church of Chapel Hill Unitarian Universalist. I am Atticus Graysmith, a member of the Worship Associates Ministry. I especially want to welcome any visitors or newcomers to our church and to call attention to the special note for you, welcome guests and newcomers, on the back side of the order of service. I would also like to welcome those of you attending online. Lyrics to hymns and all elements of the service may be found on the screen, and a complete order of service, including this week's announcements, is available via the link in the Sunday morning email and on the church website. Our in-person Sunday social is held immediately following service, and if you would please turn off or silence any cell phones during our service to maintain a worshipful experience. Whoever you are, whomever you love, however you arrived at this beloved place, you are welcome here.
Cat, you know when you get a box in the mail or when you get a gift, it is so exciting to open the box and see what's inside. It is especially exciting if there's more than one thing in the box. If there are smaller parts, you get to take them out and look at each thing and figure out how it all fits together. That's what we are doing today. Imagine that our worship service is a big box or container. Like this.
It says worship right on the box.
Yes, except the box is empty.
Oh, it is empty. What was supposed to be in it?
Well, worship usually has lots of parts and pieces. Special words, hymns, music, messages, rituals. Each element adds so much to our experience of worship.
Oh, right. I actually brought those too. 16 different elements of worship. They're right here.
Great. Those are very important. Did you know that the word worship comes from a very old ancestor language of English called Anglo-Saxon? In Anglo-Saxon, worship means give worth to make something important. I love that way of thinking about worship. Every week, we come together to give worth to things together, to show what is important. And if we look at every part of the service carefully, you can see what's important to us, what we give worth to, what is important to lift up. Every part of the service carries a worth message. It's like a secret language almost. It's really cool.
That is really cool. And these do seem very important and official. So it looks like we have everything we need, and I'll just drop these in the box randomly.
Wait. There's usually a specific order.
Are you sure? Because I've come to church a lot, and I've never noticed that.
Yes, that's normal. We usually don't pay attention. We come to church and we look at it as a whole, and we really don't pay attention to the individual parts and the order that they go in. We take it for granted. But the order we do things really matters. There's a reason why there is an order of service. It isn't just so we don't get lost. Worship has a rhythm. It's just like a song. There are fast parts and slow parts and quiet parts and longer parts and louder parts. There are beginning parts and ending parts.
Well, these are mostly jumbled parts. So what should we do now?
Let's try to unbox this worship and see what happens. We can notice every part of it, and we can look at worship with new eyes. When you look at something with new eyes, you see things you usually don't notice.
Okay, that sounds fun. We're going to notice the smaller, beautiful parts, and then we can notice the rhythm of worship and how it comes together. It could be great, even if it isn't how we expect it to go. And I'm noticing something already. there are baskets on the center aisle, and I think they have bingo cards in them. So if you are on the inside aisle, will you reach under and grab your baskets and pass them down? Everyone take one card and one pencil. This bingo card will help you notice the order of worship today. You notice there isn't an order in your order of service. So you're trying to fill up the whole card. You have all the elements. And when you do fill it up, please don't yell bingo, because you're all gonna get bingo. But you can trade in your bingo card for a small prize in Sunday Social. In addition to paying attention to the order and playing your bingo card, we're also going to need helpers throughout this service to pull worship elements out of the box so we can see what comes next. So if you want to select one of the elements out of the box, please raise your hand, and Marion is going to come around and give you a number. We are looking for 14 volunteers today. And I'm going to show you how it will go the first time. So as Marion is passing around your number cards, we're going to go ahead and get started or middled or finished. Who knows? Let's go. I'm going to let her do this. Okay, so Marion is passing out the number cards. You have a number on your card, and I'll call your number when it's time to come up. When you do come up, you'll come over to the worship box, and you will reach in and you will select a card at random. I will show you now. That's right, thank you. All right, and first we have selected let's see, share the plate. And I am the person responsible for share the plate, so my name is here, so we are all ready to go. Lucky us. This is a great way to start. Share the Plate is an element of service where we hear about an organization who will receive the offering that we collect later in the service at some point. There's a whole committee that meets to determine which organizations are selected to receive our generous contributions. And today we will hear from a member of that committee, I believe it's Lynn Holbein, and learn more about the worthy cause that they selected. So, come on up, Lynn.
Good morning. I'm Lynn Holbein, and I'm here to tell you about the amazing work of UU Justice NC, of which this church is a founding member, and Reverend Lisa Garcia Sampson, the executive director, is our affiliated minister. Would you raise your hand if you're worried about some of the political issues that are going on in the world right now? Well, you're not alone, and we look to UU Justice NC to help us figure out what to do about those things. What about immigration? How many of you are worried about ICE and deportation? Okay, that's been a top issue of UU Justice NC for a year now. Just in the last 2 weeks, there have been 2 statewide events to help people organize to defend undocumented people who are being arrested or deported by ICE. How about the war in Iran? Well, just 2 days ago, on Friday Action Hour from 11 to 12, we heard from Veterans for Peace, and then we called our legislators to ask them to stand up against the war in Iran. How about the midterm elections and especially voter suppression? Okay, well, UU Justice NC last election, 2024, organized our congregation, and 280 of us volunteered, thanks to you, Justice NC, to make a difference in the elections. That's the kind of work your donation today is supporting. And this is the only way we support you, Justice NC, financially, is biannual Share the Plates. So your donation is so appreciated and so important, and I will be at the Side with Love table during coffee hour if you'd like to get involved. And also there's a QR code in your order of service if you'd like to donate electronically. Thanks so much in advance.
Thank you, Lynn.
So will card number 1 please come up? Welcome, Demia. Okay, sure, turn in your card and let's see what we're doing next. Open it up.
Reading.
We're going to do our reading. We're going to move right into our reading this morning with Caleigh.
Now, most Unitarian Universalist services have a time for a reading or a story. The reading offers some kind of lesson or wisdom that helps deepen the theme of the worship service. Usually the reading comes shortly before the sermon so that the worship leader can reference the reading and unpack it during the sermon. This tradition comes from our Christian heritage, where the readings all come from the Bible. Christian churches have what is called a lectionary, a schedule of readings. So most Protestant churches will be using the same Bible passages on any given Sunday. In Unitarian Universalist congregations, we choose our own readings. And because we honor many sources of wisdom, a reading could be a piece of scripture from the Bible or from any of the many sacred texts of the world's religions. It could be a poem or a section of a book or essay. It could even be a story of lived experience from someone's life or a tale that's passed on over generations, like a fable. This morning, we're learning about why we do the things we do in worship. So I want to offer you this poem by Shel Silverstein about someone who learned the hard way why some things need to get done in a certain order or a certain time. Sarah Cynthia Sylvia Stout would not take the garbage out. She'd wash the dishes and scrub the pans. She'd cook the yams and spice the hams. And though her parents would scream and shout, she simply would not take the garbage out. And so it piled up to the ceiling: coffee grounds, potato peelings, brown bananas, rotten peas, chunks of sour cottage cheese. It filled the can, it covered the floor, it cracked the windows and blocked the door. With bacon rinds and chicken bones, drippy ends of ice cream cones, prune pits, peach pits, orange peels, gloppy gloms of cold oatmeal, pizza crusts with withered greens, soggy beans and tangerines, crusts of black burnt buttered toasts, gristly bits of beefy roast. The garbage rolled down the halls. It raised the roof, it broke the walls. I mean, greasy napkins, cookie crumbs, blobs of gooey bubble gum, cellophane from old bologna, rubbery, blubbery macaroni, peanut butter caked and dry, curdled milk and crusts of pie, rotten melons, dried up mustard, eggshells mixed with lemon custard, cold French fries and rancid meat, yellow lumps of cream of wheat. At last, the garbage reached so high that finally it touched the sky. And none of her friends would come to play, and all of the neighbors moved away. And finally, Sarah Cynthia Stout said, "Okay, I'll take the garbage out." But then, of course, it was too late. The garbage reached across the state, from New York to the Golden Gate. And there in the garbage she did hate, poor Sarah met an awful fate that I cannot right now relate. because the hour is much too late. But children, remember Sarah Stout and always take the garbage out.
Delightful. Will person number 2 come up? Another right. Okay, choose what you want. Right, come and show us what it is.
Joys and sorrows.
Perfect.
Marion.
I love the whole worship service, but Joys and Sorrows is the most meaningful to me. It is a part of the service that focuses on community and care. It is a part of the service where we share with each other. It is a reminder that joys and sorrows are happening all the time. Our church is unusual because it is our tradition that people get up and share their joys and sorrows in their own voices. So we get to hear each other's voices and see each other's faces. And then we can know each other and we can pray for each other and help each other out. Most churches don't do it this way anymore. Just one person reads the joys and sorrows. Churches made that change because it's easier and more predictable. We've stuck with the old-fashioned way because even though it's trickier, everyone has to take responsibility for how long they share and what they share. And this care that we take means that we get to hear each other's voices and hear each other's voices and see each other's faces. Each week, we hold a time in our service for the sharing of joys and sorrows of our community. During this time, you are invited, if you've come with a significant personal joy or sorrow, to come forward down the side aisles, place a stone in the water bowl, and say your name and share a sentence or two of your joy and sorrow. As we share this morning, be mindful that we are worshiping as an all-ages community, and let us enter into this time of tenderness and trust.
I'm Debbie Davis, and I have a wonderful joy. Allison and Ryan Siebens, who are members of this church, and Allison is my niece, they had their first child on Wednesday at 11:03 p.m. His name is Cole Evander Siebens. They're all doing well, and he's a real beauty.
I'm Ruth Gibson, and I also have a delightful joy. 8 years ago, 10 weeks sooner than expected, our grandchild Teddy was born in a miracle of science and technology and skill and love. And today she's celebrating her 8th birthday.
Good morning. I'm Polly Johnson, and I've been part of this church for over 50 years. This week I learned of the passing of one of the early members, Martha Giles. Her family was a part of our family here. Their kids, my kids' ages. One kid playing in our house broke her arm. I mean, there were quite a lot of memories, but I did want to share with you about that. I do not know the details. She was at Crowsdale in the nursing home with severe dementia for a while.
This stone is for my friend Martha Waters, whose mother died unexpectedly this week.
I'm Alan Spalt. This week, my sister Kathy Miller, died in Princeton, New Jersey. She was suffering from COPD for years and had been on oxygen for years. So it's not a shock, but it is a great sadness. My only sibling. Thanks.
My name is Jeannie Jansen. I did not plan to get old, and I did not plan to slip on a rug in my house. And I'm very grateful to my children and to friends and neighbors who have helped me. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm Kathy Putnam, and I want to celebrate the fact that last night, 175 of us came to a concert listening to Rachel Rose and her husband and Taryn and Stephanie and a whole band, and it was just fantastic listening to, Fleetwood Mac. And then we went and had macaroni and salad for dinner, so thank you, Rachel, and thank you for your team. It was wonderful.
This final stone represents the joys and sorrows which are in this community and remain unexpressed.
Thank you. Will person number 3 please come up? All right, Lydia, you can choose from the box. Show us what you've got.
Call for offering and offertory.
Hello again. Oh, the offering. This is an interesting part of our service that has a cool backstory. During the offering, baskets are passed to collect funds to support the church and also to support Share the Plate. Do you know that in the old days, many churches were controlled by the government and were paid for by taxes? So there was no offering, no baskets. Back in the day, a church had an offering like ours. Churches that had offerings like ours were called free churches because it was free from the government. We are free to make our own decisions. The free church's offering is a true offering, a gift. I always think of that during the offering. How lucky we are to be responsible for this precious place, and in Share the Plate, we choose as a congregation to support our wider community together. So listen as our worship associate Atticus calls for the offering and enjoy the offertory music, which is also an offering, a gift from our chalice choir, while the baskets are being passed.
Freely have we received gifts that minister to our needs of body and of spirit. Gladly we bring to our church and its wide concerns a portion of this bounty. If you wish to donate online, there's a QR code on the back side of the order of service, and there's information on the church's website. Today, our generosity extends beyond our walls as we give to today's Share the Plate. Remember that you can donate online, or if you are writing a check for UU Justice and C, please write STP in the memo line. We will now receive the morning offering.
Every song the world sings
Thank you, Chalice Choir. Will person 4 please come up? All right, you can select your card.
It's because it match. The closing hymn.
So the closing hymn we select to serve two main purposes. First, it's to reflect the message of the service that it normally closes, and it's also to create the energy that we want to have as we leave. So we usually pick songs that have a positive, forward-looking energy so that we can feel lively and empowered as we depart.
Please stand in body or in spirit for our closing hymn, number 1064, Blue Boat Hymn, Home, which you'll find in your teal hymnal.
Thank you. Person number 5.
prayer meditation.
Oh, great.
Reverend Thom.
I feel like the Academy Awards, but we're all winners. So each week, we have a time in our service for a spoken prayer or a spoken meditation. What are we doing when we pray or when we meditate? I think prayer and meditation are very, very similar. They're not exactly the same, but they're about 90% the same. And they both have to do with stepping outside of our normal thoughts and holding a time of openness and vulnerability. Meditation, there's many, many, many kinds, but it's about being open and receptive. We practice paying attention and calming our minds from all the things that distract us. Buddhists have a term for our regular minds called monkey mind, which is a fun phrase. Now, a monkey mind is when our thoughts jump from branch to branch to branch to branch to branch in a tree, like a monkey. Like what it needs to be on my grocery list, and oh my goodness, that conversation I had, I think I said something that I regret, and oh my goodness, what's gonna come in 2 weeks, that test that I'm nervous for, and I need to buy new shoes. That's monkey mind. And when we calm that, we make space for insight, relaxation, and peace to come to us. Prayer is very similar, but prayer is more active. One part of prayer often includes saying what we're grateful for. Another part of prayer is asking for what we need. Now, that doesn't mean asking for things like a puppy or for our favorite sports team to win the tournament, although some people do ask for that when they pray. But we can also ask for changes inside of us. We might ask for more courage or more patience or help being kinder. A writer I like named Anne Lamott said that the 3 basic prayers are help, thanks, and wow. So give me an example of something that we might ask for help with. Just give me an example. Someone shout it out. Patience, all right. Someone said patience there. Mary, he said patience, yes. What's something we might be thankful for? Community, all right. And so that seems something that we might think wow about. Spring, all right. So we've got the help, we've got the thanks, we've got the wow. Let's turn them into a prayer. I ask you to hold a time of prayer with me. Spirit of life and love, we come together on this morning, seeing the sun that shines, seeing the colors of the blooms and the trees, the redbud and the daffodils springing, hearing the chirps of birds outside and even here in the sanctuary. We give thanks. We give thanks this day for one another, for community, for the chance to meet each other and learn from each other and connect. And we come together seeking many things, seeking hope, seeking courage, and seeking this morning patience, the ability to let others be as they are, the ability to not rush from one thing to the next, the ability to really notice each other. Amen. And that is a prayer.
Amazing. Person 6.
closing song. Shalom.
Thank you so much. That's great. So, true story, when I was applying to be the minister here at this church, I met with the search committee in the living room of a church member's home. I remember a member of the search committee looked me in the eye and said, "Thom, what do you think about shalom?" And I said, "I don't even know what shalom is." And they told me it was a song that we sung at the very, very end of our worship service. And I said, "I'd love to hear it. Can you sing it for me?" And the members of the search committee stood, held hands, and sang. It was beautiful, and I felt like I had been given a gift. Shalom is kind of like a gift that we give each other. Shalom means peace, and it's our way of wishing each other peace and feelings of love and care that we can hold in our hearts until the next time that we're together. So before Shalom, the worship associate will give directions, and Glenn will play a note on the piano to help us sing in the same key. But really, it's a song that nobody leads. We all sing it to each other. So let's try it out. I'm going to ask Atticus to introduce the closing song.
If you would please stand in body or in spirit. Please join us in singing Shalom. The words are in your order of service. As you are comfortable, please either hold hands with the person next to you or cross your arms over your heart.
Feels like we're done, but we're not. So person 7, come on up. Thank you.
Their sermon.
So the sermon is the part of the service when someone, usually the minister, talks for a long time. Why do we have a sermon? Well, I'm going to get a little bit nerdy here. We are Unitarian Universalists, and we come from the mergings of the Unitarians and the Universalists. And the Unitarians and the Universalists grew out of the Congregationalists, and the Congregationalists came from the Radical Reformation in England, and the Radical Reformation in England came from the Reformation in Europe. And the Reformation made a bunch of changes to religious thought, and one of those changes was that it insisted that the hearing of the word was a sacrament. Now, sacraments we think of are usually things like communion and confirmation and last rites. But the Protestant Reformation said that hearing the word, which for them was hearing the Bible, was also a sacrament, was in fact the main sacrament. So that's why we have wordy sermons. Sermons are really about what it means to live as a faithful person in the world. And they can be about all sorts of things. They can be about our own religious experiences, they can be about how we live together in community, and they can be about big moral questions and events that we are living through. And so what I want to do is pull back a little bit of the curtain. We're not going to give a full sermon this morning because we don't have time, but pull back the curtain on how I might write a sermon. I actually teach a class on this called the Preaching Practicum every spring. It's going to start up in a couple of weeks. And so the first thing I do is I come up with a theme. And does anyone want to just shout out a theme and I'll tell you how I go? Acceptance. Acceptance. So what I will do is, with acceptance, is I will start off with, first of all, what I do is actually kind of called relational preaching, where I'll either talk to people in the church or think about people in the church and think about why this is a topic they want to hear. So Adam, why is acceptance a topic you want to hear about? Acceptance is important to your family. And so I would first talk about holding it, how it's important to people who I know, people in the congregation. And then I would look at different things. I would look at what religious traditions say about acceptance. I would look at maybe what different world religions say about acceptance. And I would talk about my own experience of acceptance. And I would weave all of these things together, and a sermon would come out of it. But a sermon actually starts with a conversation with people in the community about why that is important to them. Sermon.
Okay, person 8.
Chalice lighting. I'm glad we got this before the putting it out. Here.
Okay, say it all now if you've got it. One more time. Okay. Well, it is time to light our chalice, and it is perfect because it sounds like you're ready to use your words. We light the chalice at the beginning, usually, of our time together, and each week in religious education, we take turns lighting the chalice. Oh, Nancy, do you want to stay and light our chalice for us since you pulled the card? That would help us. You can come on back up, and I'll tell you a little bit about the chalice lighting words that we use. We light our chalice, which is the symbol of our faith, to remind us of what we are doing here together. And in all of our all ages services and in religious education each week, we use the same words. And even though we are lighting out of order today, the order really matters for the chalice lighting words. So I would like us to review what those motions are. So if you are a young person in religious education, will you stand up? You can even stand on the pew so that everybody can see you. We're going to teach everybody the motions for the chalice lighting. So we talk about open minds, so you open your mind, loving hearts, and helping hands. And that order is really important, and I remember it as the head, shoulders, knees, and toes order. It moves down your body. So the motions are, do it with me. We're going to practice. We're going to do it one time all together, but the kids are going to show us. We light this chalice to celebrate Unitarian Universalism. This is the church of the open mind. This is the church of the loving heart. And this is the church of the helping hands. Number 9. Hi, Aaron.
Opening hymn.
Please stand in body or in spirit for our opening hymn, number 361. Enter, rejoice, and come in, which you'll find in your gray hymnal.
Person 10. Thank you for not being afraid of some change. Yes, sir.
Sounding the gong.
Now we will sound the gong. Each week we sound the gong after the gathering music. It is a sound that begins to gather our attention and turn our minds towards worship. Person number 11.
Extinguishing the chalice.
Normally, extinguishing the chalice is one of the last things we do. Putting out the flame symbolizes the end of our shared worship experience. It helps to close this container we've created with our time and attention. And our worship associate will now lead us in extinguishing the chalice.
The words for extinguishing the chalice are in your order of service. Please join me if you wish to do so. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again.
Number 12.
Card number 12.
Sung meditation.
Please remain seated for our meditation hymn, number 1009, Meditation on Breathing, which you'll find in your teal hymnal. Just through once.
When I breathe in, I breathe.
Lucky 13.
Musical presentation.
This element is meant to advance the sermon topic, bring focus and intention, and help transition from the more prosaic parts of the service to something beautiful, spiritual, textually rich, and uplifting. Of the two musical selections, the other being the offertory music, this musical presentation usually demands more attention and focus, since the offertory music is essentially accompanying the passing of the basket. The musical presentation is more often, like today, complex and dramatic, where the offertory music might invite more interaction, such as singing along and clapping. And today's musical presentation is a piece by Brian Tate that's based on the Indigenous peoples of Canada. And there are two, it's mostly in English, but there's two words you might want to know, and one of them is the title, Nakisla. And in the Kwakwala, which is a Canadian Indigenous peoples language, Nakisla means coming together to make things right. And the other word is Nala'atsi, which means new beginning.
Story.
Thank you. Will number 14 come up? And while they're coming up, while Miranda's on her way, if you've been paying attention in bingo, do you have a guess at what we still have left? Think it's called to worship? Let's see. Let's see. Miranda's going to open it and we'll find out.
Normally, we call ourselves to worship right at the beginning of the service. It calls us into this sacred space. Unitarian Universalist worship can happen anytime, anywhere. We most often gather for worship here at 9:30 or 11:15 on Sunday morning. But this time is not sacred because it is Sunday or because our clocks mark the time as special. The call to worship invites us to make this a special time with our presence and attention. So let me call us to worship with these words adapted from Samantha Lynn Wilson. Choosing to focus our attention is countercultural. Daily, we are drawn to worship at the altar of many devices. We are surrounded by headlines set purely on our activation. Instead, here, we practice being called. We are called to focus all our attention on a foolhardy and open-hearted commitment to share a future together that we cannot know and we cannot control. Come, let us worship together.
And come, let us close the worship service. There's one thing I invite you to take with you today is to a lot of time we think about who creates worship, that it's created by the minister who writes a lot of words. It's maybe created by the worship associate. Maybe it's created by the music director. But actually, worship is created by us, but it's created by all of us as well. It's created by our voices. It's created by our joys and our sorrows. It's created by our silences. It's created by our singing. And it is created by our needs and our hopes and our desires and our longings that are woven into what we do together. At the end of the service, we usually give thanks for everybody who made the worship service happen. And this morning, let us give thanks not only for all of us, but all of you for creating this time together. With applause and joy, we go in peace. The service has ended. I'll see you at coffee hour.